Hello, welcome to the Hearthchemist, everything Hearthstone and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm bringing you again the same deck profile for Synchrons, but now it has been updated with all the cards that I need, at least so far. I've been testing it on Edo Pro. I'll be showing or uploading a video about this just to see how it works out. To be honest, it seems that this deck works more as a go first type of deck. There are a lot of decks in the meta that have hand traps and can easily shut it down. But again, it's a casual deck. It's casually competitive, if anything, and yeah, it's pretty fun to play. Let's go ahead and start with it. So the Playmaker, the combo starter, Junk Synchron. Three of the Junk Synchrons is a must. It's fairly inexpensive. Even the hollow versions, I believe there are secret rares that are like $3 or $4 each, so it's not too expensive. And again, you definitely have to have three of these. Moving from there, it's going to be triple junk converters. It's another key card that you want to have three of. You discard this card in addition to a tuner. You're able to look for a synchron monster, so it doesn't have to be necessarily a tuner. You can search cards such as a synchron carrier, which lets you do an additional normal summon. And if you search for junk synchron, or you have a junk synchron in your hand, there's an automatic card that you can pick up from the graveyard. And also, if you use it for a synchro summon, you're able to get a tuner from your graveyard and special summon it on the field. So yeah, it's a really good card. Definitely three of. Another three of is Jet Synchron. I feel this card might get banned or limited soon. Not because it's good, super great in Synchron deck, but rather I think that's been used in other type of combos, which I mean definitely makes sense. But yeah, it's quite unfortunate if they do decide to hit Junk Synchron. Hopefully they hit the cards that are actually the problematic cards as opposed to Jet Synchron itself, but we'll see what happens. Another three of that is a must is the Quillbolt Hedgehog. So Quillbolt, it's level 2, Earth Attribute. It's able to special summon itself from the graveyard if you have a tuner in your field. You do have to remove it afterwards, but again, that definitely helps you extend your plays. So 3, again, at least for me, is a must. And then triple Synchron Carrier allows you to do an extra summon. That's very useful, and a lot of times you have to go to your level 5 synchro summons, which you're able to kind of start the plays from there. So, and it summons a token if you're able to special summon a monster that is either a machine or a warrior. So yeah, it's overall a good card. Moving on, there's triple Doppel Warrior. Yeah, I mean, again, another great card in this type of deck. You special summon a monster from your graveyard, you're able to special summon it. If you use it for a synchro summon, you're able to special summon 2 level 1 tokens, which further allows you to extend your plays. Sometimes you have to miss the timing, unfortunately, or not miss the timing, but rather you don't have enough spaces on the field to use its effect. But still, it's a pretty good card overall. Now going to the doubles, there's double Junk Forward. Yeah, getting that extra special summon is pretty great. It would be better if Junk Forward was a level 2 than a level 3, to be honest. It would allow you much better plays, but I mean, it's still a good card overall. Two satellite synchrons. Satellite synchrons, it's a similar effect to Doppel Warrior in the sense that if you special summon something from the graveyard, you're able to special summon this card from your hand. While it's on the field, you can treat it as a level 4 tuner until the end of the phase. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent effect. Maybe the level 4 thing won't come too much into play, but every now and then having that ability to do so is always important. Moving to double Junk Servants. Whenever you have a Junk monster, you're able To special summon this card from your hand. It's a level 4. Again, unfortunately, its level isn't that great. It won't allow you to go to that much plays unless you use a lot of level 7 synchros. In this case, unfortunately, there's not enough space to add 7s. I might still look into it, maybe adding a Black Rose Dragon, but Destruction isn't that great anymore. And Destruction is more of a going second type of play. And again, this deck is focusing more on putting out 2 to 3 negates and basically disrupting the opponent. Now for the one-ofs, the one-ofs, one Fuller Synchron. So if you Synchro Summon for that, you can Special Summon level 2 non-tuner from your hand. Actually, I think it's just tuner or non-tuner, doesn't matter, but level 2 or lower. One Drill Synchron. Drill Synchron allows us to go to Natura Beast, and a lot of people think that Natura Beast's effect to negate spells is only once per turn, which fortunately enough is not the case. As long as you have cards in your deck, you're able to use the effect, so it's definitely the card itself, it's kind of a garnet if you draw it, because it's very, very difficult to put it on the field if you don't use it, speed booster's effect. But I mean, it's worth the risk. I might even consider adding a second, just in the very often case that it does go to, I do draw it, and at least I have the confidence that I have another in the hand, because setting Natura Beast a lot of the times is the difference between winning and losing a game. One Road Synchron, I mean, just I'm handling it for the name, to be honest. I don't use it for much. It's only considered a level 2 if you use it for any sort of synchro other than for the Road Warrior synchro, which I don't even handle anymore in this version, which you'll see in a second. A Synchron Explorer. I mean, again, it's kind of the reverse of a Junk Warrior. Not that great. It's still level 2 Earth, which again, it's very useful for a Synchro Summon for Natura Beast. The Tricky. A lot of the times you're going to be drawing your Quillbolts, your Jet Synchrons, so discarding them to be able to further extend your plays is very important. And also the Tricky himself is level 5. So using it for a synchro for a level 8 is fairly useful, especially we have a lot of level 3 tuner monsters. And finally, last monster, one tuning where can treat itself either as level 1 or level 2. And if you use it for a synchro summon, you draw a card. So again, that gives you an extra chance to draw whatever you need. So definitely a great card. Okay, so those were the monsters. Now moving to the spells, not too many spells to be honest. Well, maybe a few, but yeah, going to triple tunings. Very good card, to be honest. A lot of people don't know the matchup. So if I have this card and the Junk Converter, I'm kind of able to bait the opponent to hand trap this card instead of the Junk Converter, which Junk Converter is much more useful in comparison to Tuning. Tuning is still a great card. If you don't have a lot of setups on your hand, it can all of a sudden luck out and send a card level 2 monster to the graveyard, and you have a Junk Synchron on your hand. You're able to start your plays from there. So it's still a good card. It's a good searcher. Then 2 Synchro Chases. It's useful that it impedes the negation, or it negates the summoning of monsters with Stardust, Synchron, or Warrior in their names. And also, if you do use them, you do a synchro summon of one of those, you can special summon the material, which again allows you to further extend the plays. And unfortunately, it's only once per turn, but I mean, makes sense at the same time. 1 Pot of Avarice. Sometimes it's useful if you go crazy on turn 1 and you still need something extra to go and close that extra synchro that you need. It's a good card to use. 1 for 1. Again, you can pull out a tuning ware, a jet synchron, and kind of extend your plays, and also allows you to discard a card, which you might have again, maybe Cobalt Hedgehog or a jet synchron on your hand, and again that helps you extend your plays. 1 Foolish Burial. Anything that is able to be sent to the graveyard that allows to extend plays, definitely a must. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn a lot of the times helps you if, say, you were able to negate a good part of your opponent's card effects, but he was still able to go through a few of your cards and they killed one of your important synchros, able to revive it and put you back on the game. Finally, 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Junk Converter is going to be a warrior monster, so that's really, really good. That's a fantastic searcher for the card. So yeah, and if it was allowed at more than 1, I would definitely run that card. I mean, it's a really, really good card regardless. So moving to my synchro monsters. So the boss monster, Shooting Quasar Dragon. Honestly, I don't go to that card too frequently. This card is more of a going second, which again is really difficult to go second nowadays. You have to have a lot of negations, which obviously, as you can see, this deck does not have. It's got kind of a going first type of deck. Maybe I should get a side deck that thinking about that if I do go second. Since it's more of a casual deck, I really don't have a side deck for it right now. But yeah, I mean, sometimes if for whatever reason I'm able to get those 2 level 5s and a level 2 synchro tuner, then yeah, I'll definitely go for that. Or maybe I'll go for a Cosmic Blazar Dragon, which allows you to negate a little bit more than Quasar, but it's not as good as Quasar. Also, 1 Shooting Star Dragon. Quasar allows you to float to Shooting Star Dragon. Sometimes you're able to go to Shooting Star Dragon on your own. Its effect is pretty good. You're able to reveal cards from your deck and, well, excavate cards from your deck, 5 cards from your deck. And depending on how many tuners you got, that's the amount of additional attacks that it may do. And it can negate an effect once per turn. So yeah, I mean it's a decent card. 1 Stardust Warrior, again, fairly easy to make, and also its effect to negate special summons. A special summon / special summons in the case if it's something like a pendulum summon. It's useful every now and then. I don't go too frequently into this card, but still useful. Trishula, going first, it's not as great, but still you can snipe something, a key card from your opponent, and you're good. If you're going second, it's a pretty great card. You're able to banish a lot of key cards, and it doesn't have to be so it can be from the hand, from the field, and from the graveyard, but it doesn't have to be the 3. It can be basically either or in combination rather. 1 Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon. Very good card, very easy to make in the Synchro deck. Does 1 negation. The attack boosting sometimes is useful. Again, we're going first for the most part, so yeah, I mean, we just try to survive, and then if we do, it goes to our turn, we have a bunch of big monsters, and we finish the job. 1 Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. This card has actually been very, very useful. It's not a 1 per turn. It doesn't negate, so that's very important to note. It only banishes a card whenever a monster effect activates. So it banishes that card. But again, it doesn't necessarily negate the effect. But fortunately, in the meta, I think that there are a lot of cards that, especially the Eldritch cards, that are able to either add themselves to the hand or those type of things. So at that point, you are able to kill those type of effects. So right now, I think that it's a very great card to have, and also the ability to attack again is great, and add additional attack on the second attack is really good. One Stardust Dragon. I mean, Stardust Dragon sometimes is useful to go to. I've had situations where I was able to get two monster negations and maybe one special summon negation, but then my opponent has a lightning storm and then I lose the game. So pulling that out in the field might be very important sometimes. Not as great as it used to be honest, but it's still an okay card. One Stardust Charge Warrior lets you draw an extra card. Yeah, I mean, it's good after you make a speed booster. You can go ahead and synchro summon one level up, so it's fairly easy with a jet synchron. Getting the extra card again, whatever lets you draw, get you closer to your combo pieces. That's definitely great. One TG Hyper Librarian. So there are some situations, again, if you're able to summon Synchron Carrier, then Junk Synchron, and then get from your graveyard Junk Converter. If you're able to go to Hyper Librarian first, then you're able to bring back the Junk Synchron, and then you're able to go ahead and special summon Junk Speeder with the other piece. So yeah, I mean, drawing cards is always good. Unfortunately, it was limited to one, but hey, it's still a great card. One Junk Speeder, it's a very useful card. Brings a lot of tuners. Sometimes a bit too many depending on the situation. Again, if they negate the effect of Junk Speeder, that's pretty bad. Or if they are able to kill Junk Speeder and negate the rest of the effects, then you're left on the field with 4 to 5 tuners and nothing else that you can do. But overall, I think it's still a pretty useful card. One Natura Beast. So again, it's fairly simple to go to this if you you get Junk Speeder to bring out the Drill Synchron. It's a great card. It's very useful. There are a lot of decks right now that maybe they don't rely 100% on spells, but they do have their combo starters, 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 3 cards that are able to start those combos, and negating it is great. Again, a lot of the people try to bait the effect, but thinking that Natura Beast is only once per turn. But then they read the card and they're like, oh no, it's you actually any times that you want, as long as you have 2 cards to send from your deck. And a lot of times sending those cards is able to help you further your game for next turn. One Formula Synchron. Again, being able to draw extra cards is always good. One Celestial Double Star Shaman. So its effect to bring back level 2 non-synchro monsters from your from your graveyard or from your hand is very useful. Helps you extend plays. You don't go to this card too frequently, but when you do, it gives you a lot of gas. Finally, one Martial Metal Marcher. Again, pretty important to use this card. Able to return a tuner monster that you basically use for the summoning of this card. Yeah, I really like the card overall. Very useful. And that is the deck profile. Let's go ahead and just do a very quick hand testing of this. So I'm just going to just shuffle it a little bit here. Okay, so I'm just shuffling the cards, and alright, so I think hopefully this should be good enough. Okay, so there's junk synchron, junk synchron carrier, junk synchron again, tuning, junk forward, and so that's 5. Okay. All right. So what we can do first would be junk forward, special summon. We would use tuning's effect. And let's see what we can add here. I really don't think that the effect matters that much. So I'm going to bring out a satellite synchron. Shuffle the deck. Then I'm going to send a card from the top of my deck. So it was a V.2 synchron. So then I would summon synchron carrier, which would allow me to normal summon an extra monster, I would summon junk synchron, which then would be able to allow me to special summon V.2 synchron. There we go. I'm just going to put it like that, which would then allow me to special summon satellite synchron. So then from here, I can go ahead and special summon. So I'm going to send, let's see, I'm going to summon TG Hyper Librarian by using, let's see here, satellite synchron and junk forward. So that's level 5. Then I'm going to special summon this. Then I can, let's see, I can go ahead and use these 2 cards. And I'm going to synchro summon Junk Speeder, which then Junk Speeder allows me to get, let's see, 3. Yeah, 3. 3 spots for Jets, 1 Jet Synchron. Then I would go for the spot for, let's see here, Drill Synchron. And then the other spot that I would go for would be a, let's see here, maybe Satellite. Let's go for Satellite Synchron. And, okay, so then it would be like that. You just put them like here, just so they're just visible. Okay, so then I would draw a card due to, well, first I would shuffle the deck. Alright, now that I did that, I would be able to draw a card thanks to Hyper Librarian. I would draw a Synchron Explorer. And then I can go ahead and special summon, synchro summon by using Junk Speeder and Jet Synchron. I would be able to summon Stardust Charge Warrior, which would then trigger this. This would be chain 1, chain 2. I'm able to draw 2 cards, which is going to be a tuning, and it's going to be a tricky. Okay. So now that I was able to synchro summon Stardust Charge Warrior, I can use V.2 Synchron and Stardust Charge Warrior, which would then allow me to go to, let's see here, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which would then allow me to draw an extra card, which then from there, I draw 1 for 1. And let's see here. Okay, and then I would activate V.2 Synchron's effect. That would let me special summon Synchron Explorer's monster, which is, I would then synchro summon Drill Warrior and Synchron Explorer, which is going to be a level 5, which would allow me to special summon Natria Beast. And then with that, I would draw a card due to TG Librarian, which I draw Foolish Burial. And then from there, let's see, I can go ahead and set Foolish Burial, I suppose. So Foolish Burial will let me send a Quillbolt Hedgehog. Alright, so I'm sending Quillbolt Hedgehog. I shuffle the deck. Let's see if I can go to anything else from here. So then from here, I could possibly, I don't know if I could go for anything else. I mean, I do have, from my hand, I do have a Tricky, I do have a Tuning, I have 1-for-1, I have a Junk Synchron, I do have a Synchron, Jet Synchron on in the field, in the graveyard. I also have a Quillbolt Hedgehog, so that would be 2, 7. Okay, yes. So then from there, I will look into the graveyard. I look into the graveyard and I'm able to activate Jet Synchron's effect, which I will go ahead and discard whatever. I'll discard my Junk Synchron. So I special summon. Then I would be able to special summon Quillbolt Hedgehog using its effect. So I'm going to then go, it's going to use TG Hyper Librarian, going to use Jet Synchron, I'm going to use Quillbolt Hedgehog. So that's 5, 7, 8. And I'm able to go to my final monster, which would be Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. And there we go. So we do have a field that consists of Clearwing, Natura Beast, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, and I mean, it's not unbeatable, but at least we have a good chance on either deciding when to banish something with Tenyi that it doesn't activate if it isn't in the graveyard, or its effect is related to special summoning itself. Now it would be removed, or banished, and they wouldn't be able to activate. One negate with Clearwing, and multiple spell negates with Natura Beast. So again, it's not unbeatable. It's definitely, if they have a Lava Golem, or if they have Kaiju, or if they have Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, they would definitely be able to run over it. But still, I mean, I think it's a good play. It's a good field. If you like the video, don't forget to thumbs up. I will be uploading a video of Edo Pro soon. Alright, thank you. I wish you have a nice day.